All right, Labor Lounge, we back and we got to talk about Sean P. Diddy Combs. The man has always been a little suspect, if you ask me. Always in the news for either this or that. He's always had accusations that he was involved with the Tupac shooting. His houses just recently got raided. He just settled, I think, a $30 million lawsuit for the young lady by the name of Cassie, who was his girlfriend and artist at one point in time. So Puff Daddy, the king of the awkward moment, is always in the news for something or another, right? We saw him on Drink Champs when he said some stuff that was a little suspect. And then he got called out for it on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy. Now, I got this clip here that I just got off of TikTok where he was on Jimmy Kimmel and he was asked a certain question and it looks like he got a little bit nervous. So watch this while I get this set up.
Speaking of
This
love,
is love.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Yo, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I No,
It's all about love, though. That's not true?
You really heard that? Nah.
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. Where did this?
Okay, it could just be coincidence, but every time Puff Daddy's asked a tough question, he seems to get a little weird. He don't know what anybody's talking about, and he thinks everything's all funny. Well, he's not gonna think it's so funny because in the next clip I'm gonna show you, Chris Cuomo interviewed Diddy's ex-head of security, a gentleman by the name of Roger, and he gets into good detail about his opinions on what the trafficking charge looked like and also some first-hand testimony of Diddy actually being violent with a couple of his ex-girlfriends. So let's look at this clip and we'll come back.
Well, there's definitely times that he was very abusive argumentatively. He was very abusive physically. You know, that particular time that Cassie is talking about, they were at a dinner or a gathering on Sunset Boulevard. And Cassie was talking to a manager, and he got very upset about that. You know, he didn't want her talking to any other managers or doing anything without his say-so. And he got very abusive that day, and I jumped out the car, and I ran up on him, and I grabbed him, and I was like, what are you doing? Do you see where we at? Like, what's going on? And he got inside the car once I grabbed him up, and he realized the way he was at, but some of the damage was done already, and I put her inside the car, too.
The idea that he would be involved in running drugs, running women for the enjoyment of others, did you see anything like that? Did you hear anything like that?
Well, I don't think when they say running for others, I don't particularly believe that. You know, at the end of the day, he's Sean Combs, he's Diddy. You know, a lot of the things that they accuse him with, I feel falls under different kind of jurisdictions. You know, it's been plenty of times we've been out the country. We've been in other cities, other states where you meet people at parties, you dance, you party, they go back to the hotel. And he has a private jet. So he says, hey, you want to come to New York? You want to come to L.A. for a week or two? And they get on the jet, and for a week or two, they might be there, and then he'll tell the assistant, okay, fly him back. If that falls under sex trafficking, then yes. But as far as, like, physically sex trafficking and making someone go somewhere, I don't believe that to be true.
That's the allegation. Cassidy makes that allegation in part also, what she refers to as a freak-off, which is where Combs would make her have sex with other men. And then that allegation was expanded in some of these other reports that we've seen of, yeah, that's what he does. He would get women and make them have sex with other men, and that he would get drugs and traffic them, meaning bring them in for sale and use by other people.
Well, on that aspect, I'm going to say I don't know what he does actually in the bedroom. I've never actually witnessed anything like that. But I have seen people that I haven't ever seen in my life, guys that I've never seen before, go into a hotel room with them, and I know that only they was in the room, nobody else was in the room. But what actually went on, or if they was forced to do it, or how much they got paid, I didn't know about that. But I definitely did see people go into private places where him and Cassie was at.
Do people who know the realities think Combs is going to get hooked on at least some of these charges? And why do you think his friends aren't coming forward to defend him?
Well, I think a lot of things that he's being charged with, a lot of things that he's being accused with is the norm. You know, I think that's part of Hollywood. I think that's a rich culture. And I think a lot of them is scared to come forward because this is what they've been doing for the last 10, 20, 30 years, as if it's just a regular thing. And by Cassie speaking up and finally standing up for what I feel she should have did a long time ago, it's given a lot of people courage to speak up on the things that they thought was the norm.
So you heard the interview that came out with Chris Cuomo and Diddy's former head of security. Now, did you hear the part where they talked about the sex trafficking, where these people could be at a party, they decide that they want to get on a private jet and go to Las Vegas or go to California or wherever it is they decide to go. Once you do that and you cross state lines, from my understanding, it becomes trafficking. If I'm wrong, leave it down in the comments and let me know. But that's just my surface level understanding of what trafficking is. But if that's the case, you got people out here who are willingly partying and then they end up just catching the flight wherever they go. So is it right that they can come back later and say, hey, look, I was forced to do this and I was forced to do that? But they don't stick them for that. They stick them for the trafficking piece, which is kind of shaky ground if you ask me. But nonetheless, a video came out where Diddy actually had the young lady Cassie in a hotel room and he went crazy for some strange reason. Like, why? Because it's Diddy and he's a weirdo in the first place. But it's seen him dragging her across the hall. He actually put the feet on her when she was on the floor, and he continued to just drag the lady all around the hotel. Now, I can't show that video just because it's a little bit graphic, so we don't have to show that. But after that video came out, Puff Daddy, shortly after, I want to say either yesterday or today, he gets on Instagram or whatever social media platform and he drops his statement about the whole situation. So let's look at this real quick, and then let's find out what Diddy has to say about it.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Okay, so that's interesting, right? So after the video surfaces, Diddy beating the girl up in the hotel room, all of a sudden he's in the wrong mental space. He was in the darkest moments of his life at that particular point in moment, right? Let me tell you something, man. I'm tired of rich people talking about the mental issues that they got. Y'all ain't got no reason to be out here going through what you say you're going through. You're just a weirdo and you're crazy. There was no reason for you to beat that girl up in the hallway. The thing is, everybody out there with money, well, let me correct myself. People out there with money think that they're untouchable. But we've seen time and time again, what happens in the dark will soon come to light. It's only so long you can hide for, and it's evident. But another question that I have is, who was holding on to this tape? And why did it take so long for this tape to come out? Like, this was from 2016 that this incident happened. It's 2024, so you're talking about a whole 8 years. Where was this tape at all that time? Now, in conversations that I've been having with certain people that we just sit around and we talk junk from time to time, They said that all of this started for a couple different reasons. You have people saying, well, R. Kelly got locked up and he's trying to reduce his prison sentence. So he's trying to get out of prison. So he just in there snitching on people. Then you have people saying, well, ever since Puff Daddy decided he was going to get into a lawsuit with Ciroc, everything kind of went downhill from there. So, I mean, it's interesting. It's things to think about. It kind of gets into a conspiracy realm, but nonetheless, P. Diddy's in a lot of trouble. I don't know how he's going to be able to recover from this, if he recovers at all. But once again, here it is. We have people that we grew up with, especially my generation. You have Puff Daddy in the 90s, Suge Knight from the 90s, R. Kelly from the 90s, Bill Cosby from the 90s. All these people are behind bars. And I think it's going to continue to get worse as people continue to step forward and they make their case, because I think there's a lot of people who participated in these type of activities and they got away with it for so long, and now it's a new day and age and they're going to reap what they sow. But you all tell me what you think about this. Leave it down in the comments. Let's have this conversation. And do you think Puff Daddy's going to recover? I don't think so personally. But till next time, I'm out. He opening up a can of worms. Like, you could go viral tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in
Soul Connect
to another episode of the Labor Lounge. We appreciate you. Labor Lounge, that's right, we been working out. All that issue can't talk at work, we can talk about. Labor Lounge, I ain't gonna argue with ya, I'ma hit you